Welcome everybody to Venture UWA's Pitch and Showcase Night. My name is Nikki and I'm the 2025 Guild President. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay respects to elders past and present and any First Nation people with us today. I'd also like to acknowledge the amazing people in the room we have. Our phenomenal ecosystem and student supporters, Tim Colmer, Senior Deputy Vice-Chancellor of UWA, Diane Smith-Gander AO, Chancellor of UWA, the Malka Foundation as a primary partner, and Tony Goodman, the Managing Director of the Guild. Venture is proudly a department of the UWA Student Guild, and one that holds a very special place in my heart. What I love about Venture is that it does not just prepare students for the future, but it helps them discover it. Venture gives students a place to grow as people, as leaders, and as entrepreneurs. For me, it became a source of direction when I was feeling most uncertain. I spent countless hours in that office, unsure of what I wanted my future to look like. But with the help of the team and the opportunities that came through Venture, I began to understand what kind of person I wanted to be and what kind of life I wanted to lead. Before I let Chloe speak, I also want to give a massive thank you to her and her team. Venture has been able to grow this much because of Chloe's incredible drive to create meaningful opportunities for students. Thank you, Chloe, for always keeping students at the center of your mission. None of this would have been possible without you. Everyone, please welcome Chloe Bull, Director of Venture UWA.
That sorrows me. Thanks, Nikki. Nikki, it's been amazing to work with you over the last 12 months, and I can't wait to see what you do in your next chapter. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us this evening, and welcome. It's great to see so many familiar faces in the room today, and so many new ones. So for those of you who don't know much about Venture, I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about us. So Venture was conceptualised by two students in 2020 who recognised that AI, automation, innovation and robotics were going to change the future of work and the world that they were going to graduate into. They sought out a place that would better prepare them for this future. But more than that, they wanted to create a place that would start and seed businesses so that future grads had more diverse employment opportunities into the future. And that's exactly what we do here. We prepare students practically, and we prepare students, and we prepare students with innovation, students, and the ecosystem at the absolute core of what we do. For mature and scaling companies, we offer access to UWA talent via our innovation consultancy projects. For students, we give them the opportunity to see that working for a startup is a viable career choice through our startup internship programs. And for budding entrepreneurs, we give them a place to grow their ideas. And that's exactly the culmination of the program you're about to see tonight. Now, as time and our technical evolution moves faster than ever, does anyone else just feel like we're running? We're running, and we're desperately trying to keep pace, to stay ahead of the crowd. And it's easy to sometimes forget why we're running, why we're chasing this technological evolution. One thing that we here as an innovation centre contemplate is the importance of purposeful innovation, of making conscious choices so that we can stop and we can think about the short and the long-term impact of what we are building. Venture is proudly student-led, and it is my absolute honour to introduce the next generation of thought leaders. Izzy, our 2026 chair, Sayela, our AI lead, and James, our current 2025 chair. Round of applause.
Uncanny, right? So tonight is all about ideas. Now, an idea might seem small at first, a spark, a scribble in the corner of a notebook, or a conversation over coffee. But history shows us that ideas, when nurtured with purpose, intentional thought, and action, can reshape the way that we live, the way that we work, and the way that we connect with others across the globe. Now, it's easy to think that these huge businesses now, like Apple, Google, Canva, all started out as million or billion-dollar even ideas. But the reality is that's rarely the case. And as Steve Jobs said, it takes a tremendous amount of craftsmanship between a great idea and a great product. And as the idea evolves, it will grow and change over time. You just have to get started. And it's exactly what these founders did 5 months ago. They took a purposeful idea and have since built upon it with impact in mind.
And that's what tonight is all about, not just celebrating innovation for innovation's sake, but recognizing that the most powerful ideas are those that are shaped with intention. They're not just creative, they're conscious. They look beyond profit to ask, how will this make lives of others better? And universities like UWA and Venture UWA, they are ecosystems where curiosity is encouraged, where peers and mentors challenge each other to think bigger, and where sparks of inspiration can turn into scalable ventures. UWA's culture of collaboration means that the ideas that are born here in this campus don't need to stay here. They move outwards, outside the campus walls, into our cities, our state, and the world at large. And let's not underestimate the impact this has. Every new idea, every breakthrough helps shape the industries and the jobs of the future. Venture UWA help prepare the students for their future careers, but it also helps shape the next generation of problem solvers, change makers, and founders. And as we begin tonight, remember that what you'll hear are not just pitches, they're seeds of possibilities. Every new idea has the potential to ripple outwards and create changes far bigger than what we can imagine today. Nights like this remind us that the next great idea could be right here in this room, sitting beside you, amongst you.
Hey, you guys. Wow. Turn it on. Turn it on. It should have been on. Can you hear me? What a video, right? Huge shout out to Sayela for making that. It was a mix of Google VEO and C-Dance, if you're wondering, with publicly available images. And it was scripted by Chloe. Can we have another round of applause for that video, please? Over the last 5 years, we have seen an amazing amount of growth in students wanting to develop skills akin to entrepreneurship. And this year, Venture UWA has had the pleasure to have over 1,600 direct student engagements. And you're about to see around 5 months' worth of hard work from just a few of them. 52 students applied for our incubator program this year, 52 teams. 15 teams comprised of 32 students were accepted, and 13 teams have successfully completed our program, and that's who you'll be hearing from tonight. Speaking of tonight, it's going to be set up into 2 pieces. Our showcase, which is what we'll run into right after this, and our formal pitch night. Now, teams showcasing have well thought through ideas, but need your guidance and expertise to open some doors for them or gain some further advice. They'll pitch to you for 3 minutes, and you have only 2 minutes, a very strict 2 minutes of questions before moving on to the next station, and we have our own beeper that you'll hear to signify when it's time to move. In a twist from last year, we've added 2 networking stations, so you can eat, drink, and laugh with those around you before we move on. In terms of logistics, bathrooms are at the back and to the left. On the other side of this wall here, main exits are on the foyer, bins are at the bar. I kind of forgot what I was going to say next, to be honest with you. What? Oh, numbers, right. Sorry about that, everyone. As you got your name tag today, you'll see a number or letter assigned to that. Now, that number or letter is what you'll be allocated to for the showcase. If you turn your attention to the back, we have our venturers, our UWA committee, holding the assigned and allocated number and letter you have. I'll give you a minute to look back at your name tag, look at them, look back, look back. Okay, good. All right, look back at me now. All right, now I'll let them go off and set up. How's that? I'll do a little bit more housekeeping. Yeah, I'll get to that. So, after we're done with the showcase, we'll convene back here for the formal pitches. In terms of how we're going to exit this room, people with 1 to 4, numbers 1 to 4, you're out to the door on the right, and then 5 to 10, or the letter N, you're at the back here, back doors here. All good? It's like I'm teaching a class. With that all being said, are we ready to get started? Yes. Oh, come on. Are we ready to get started? All right, let's go. Let's get up. Let's go.
What a great job all of the teams did, and hopefully you all had a chance to connect with them and share some advice. Now, this is a special year, as a couple of months ago, Venture turned 5. And you can see here where it all started, and since then, hundreds of people, many students, industry partners, and many of you here with us tonight have shaped what we have become and what we're becoming. Where, as well as our 3 flagship programs, we also have our student-led events, which also seek to inspire an entrepreneurial mindset. Whether it's what does the current landscape of AI look like in Perth today, and how do you get those practical skills, or what are new and innovative ways that companies are solving sustainability issues. We also have our numerous hackathons with our different industry partners, where many of the students have secured their first professional role or gotten their first startup idea. But what I really like about Venture is the ability to come and try anything and everything. Over the past 18 months, I've done countless pitches, had the opportunity to organize and MC many of the events that I wanted to see happen on campus, like our AI panel night, and I've also met so many amazing people.
Am I using this one?
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Izzy. Over the last 5 years, we have engaged with over 5,000 students. But this year has been an exceptionally special one, not just because I'm chair for this year. Maybe a little. And with the help of the foundation from last year and an incredible student committee team that I've been able to lead this year, the privilege to lead this year, we've been able to blow our numbers out the water. So in face-to-face engagements this year, we've had 1,650 on just face-to-face. We've had 238 students in our program, and the team have personally coached over 140 students in 12 months. And then we've got the other online stuff too. There's way more stats and numbers I could throw at you and that we are very proud of, but what we're most proud of is the impact that we have. And for me personally, the last 3 years I've been part of Venture, I've been able to grow and learn so much. Venture has given me a space to challenge myself and become better, especially this year as a leader, holding myself to a high standard and others to a high standard that we set for ourselves, as well as meeting so many accomplished, amazing people I never would have thought have met at university at all. But what's more important than that, no offense to everyone in this room, is the impact we have on students. What we see students like me, Izzy, Sayla, our student committee, students being able to feel that much more confident going into the unknown world after graduation and feeling like they are at least a bit to a lot more equipped to tackle it. I forgot about this as well. We have engaged with over 80 industry partners as well, and they're all alive. We love Venture, obviously. I wouldn't be in there for 3 years if I didn't love it. And we can't wait for 2026 and see what Izzy has in store and the rest of the team and staff to have in store for next year. And with that pleasure, I'd like to introduce our MC for our formal pitch night tonight, our very own entrepreneur in residence, Josh Van Ross. Give it a hand.
Thank you very much, James. Okay, did everyone enjoy the showcase pitches? Yes, lovely, good. because the students have been working exceptionally hard at this, okay? They have been doing this on top of their normal studies. Some of them have been having a part-time or full-time job even, and some of them, if they've been very, very illustrious, have even had a teeny-weeny bit of a social life. So big round of applause for our showcase and our pitchers here tonight. Thank you. What a year 2025 has been for Venture and the incubator program in particular. So this year we have taken about double the amount of students as last year. Our entrepreneurial education program has lifted to the next level with amazing speakers, amazing educators and amazing mentors who are industry leaders in their own right. Just to really emphasise how hard our students have worked, here are a few collective stats from our cohort. We have achieved, the students rather, and teams have achieved almost $100,000 in grant funding, with $90,000 in further on funding, and generated over $150,000 collectively. That is huge. All in just 6 months and part-time. It is actually an incredible achievement for our students here. As entrepreneur in residence, my role is to help them with realise the stage that they are at and where they need to go next. I help them keep an eye out on the potential pitfalls that lay waiting for them at the next milestone and the strategies on how to make good decisions as a founding team. It has been my absolute pleasure to work alongside these teams for this year and as my last year as EIR, which I am feeling it and wholly in this moment, and I am so happy to be seeing these teams achieve so much success here tonight and over the course of this year. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the final pitches of the night. These teams are a little bit further on in the commercialisation journey, and some of them have some pretty serious asks, which you'll see here tonight. So please keep an open mind to that. Now, we do have a judging panel here tonight, and the judging panel is consisting of Diane Smith-Gardner, AO, Chancellor of University of Western Australia. We have Nikki Talluri, UWA Guild President of 2025, and Derek Gerard, Chair of Malka Foundation. Can we just get a big round of applause for our judges? The judges have the unenviable task of choosing which two pitches tonight will take away the coveted tickets for, one, an opportunity to pitch at Fremantle Startup Fest, kindly donated by Rob Nathan. Thank you, Rob. And the second opportunity is to pitch on West Tech Main Festival, 8th to the 12th of December. Please look it up after this. West Tech Main Festival, courtesy of Danelle Cross and Ollie Bazzani, who are also here. Thank you very much, Ollie and Danelle. Okay, so with that, we're going to come to our first pitch. So, the first cab off the rank joined with just an idea, but between the four founders have rocketed through the ranks of commercialisation and now have some pretty hefty traction. I'll let them share that with you now. Can I please introduce Kat and Andy on behalf of Ben and Wilson and the entire Talk to View team.
Hi everyone, we're Andy and Kat, two of the co-founders of TalkToView, the first agentic AI platform for medical imaging systems. Modern medicine relies on advanced imaging techniques, which, when combined with powerful software, is used to improve diagnosis and planning. There are two problems. First, medical imaging software is integrated with hardware like imaging scanners, surgical robots, and databases, often in complex workflows. The second problem is the interface. Most imaging software look like this. This is 3D Slicer, the world's most popular open source medical imaging platform. 3D Slicer and its peers rely on WIMP interfaces to get work done. This interface is hard to learn, slow in practice, and suppresses adoption, so billions of dollars in research remain in journals rather than helping patients. Our solution is TalkToView, the medical viewer you can talk to. TalkToView replaces outdated WIMP interfaces with a chat that lets users automate complex tasks. The user gives a request by talking to the chat, and our proprietary agentic AI layer automates the work. Instead of clicking on 20 buttons, I can just ask TalkToView what I need. Our co-founder, Dr. Benjamin Zwick, demos a common workflow.
Let's imagine we want to make the colors of this data set look more realistic. We could start here at the top of the spine and change the color of this atlas segment to light gray. We could do the same for the remaining spine segments and then move on to the muscles. We could then repeat this process to change the color of all of the remaining segments in this data set. In Talk to View, we can simply say, make all of the colors look as realistic as possible. And then Amelia, the Talk to View assistant, will look at the names of each of these segments, choose a suitable color, and apply that color to the segment. And now we can see all of the bones have been recolored grey, the muscles in pink, arteries in red, and veins in blue.
Core to our IP is our developer platform, where anyone, like Ben, can build, run, and share their workflow. Now I and people around the world can use Ben's automated workflow to speed up our research. Our community-driven platform leads to faster R&D cycles, better patient outcomes, and increased revenue.
While we began in medical imaging, after talking to many customers, we found new applications. For example, integrating into image scanners and surgical robotics, telehealth, and e-records, making our total market $135 billion as Talk to View becomes enabling infrastructure by integrating siloed systems into one coherent environment. We'll start by selling B2C subscriptions for non-medical use and then scaling to B2B plans for R&D labs like Johnson & Johnson and Merck. And we'll grow with pilots, partnerships, platform fees, and future medical device opportunities. Our competitors are selling manual software. We have a conversational tool that integrates many systems in one place. Our dev community creates a moat as we scale, and we have speed to market. In 9 months, we've incorporated, launched 2 products, raised $100,000, won 2 government grants, and joined Venture UWA, who got us to South Korea, where we deepened our relationships with Johnson & Johnson, Intuitive Surgical, and won a Women in AI award. And in 3 weeks, we're heading to Chicago to continue to deepen our relationships with corporate R&D and sell to over 40,000 radiologists. And next, we are delighted to announce tonight, in a world first, our pilot with surgical training platform, Reach Education. So, we seek investment to hit product market fit. Our $320,000 pre-seed round is still open, for which we've already raised $120,000. And in January, we're opening our seed at $2 million. And tomorrow, we have our second meeting with Fund WA, whom we hope will lead that round. Can Ben and Wilson please stand up? So together, we are Talk to View. We have founder, problem fit, and we have tech and business coverage. Ben and Andy are the medical imaging experts. Will covers finance, and I own legal, sales, and ops. So scan our codes and talk to us.
Thank you very much, Talk to View. I told you they had a serious ask. Some incredible progress made over the last 9 months, and very happy to have you guys in Venture for the last 6 months, and to see you guys grow has been phenomenal. Okay, on to our next pitch. So, George. George is a PhD candidate and a solo entrepreneur, and coming from a very strong science background, has been drilled into him and trained into not saying a word that hasn't been peer-reviewed twice or thrice. So imagine trying to get George around the concept of early-stage startups and having to make long-term assumptions based on some pretty flimsy assumptions. So that was the bulk of my work with George, and I'm very happy to say that he has got one killer of a pitch coming up now. So the business world was new to George, but he took to it with all the discipline that he shows to his PhD, and is now one of the most business-savvy scientists that I have ever met. Can I please introduce you now to George from Regenevis?
So, as Josh said, my name is George McColgan. I'm a PhD candidate here at UWA in the field of vascular tissue engineering. This is Trevor. Trevor lost his leg to peripheral arterial disease. That is, the buildup of arterial plaque in the leg. You might not realise it, but 10% of Australians over the age of 50 will be diagnosed with peripheral arterial disease. As the disease worsens, symptoms progress from pain, tingling and numbness through to ulceration and, spoiler, gangrene. Despite lifestyle modifications, pharmacological interventions and stenting, approximately 5% of all patients will require arterial bypass surgery, whereby blood flow is redirected around this blockage utilising a vascular graft. Whilst 5% might not seem like a big number, if we look at this by 2050 across the globe, we expect more than 5 million of these procedures will be performed. And this is bad because 3/4 of these procedures will result in the patient requiring to go back to surgery and back in hospital for more complications. And it's a coin flip as to whether they will be alive in 5 years' time. This mortality rate is higher than a lot of cancers. So when performing this surgery, vascular surgeons currently only have 2 options. To harvest a vein from the opposite leg. This requires an additional surgery, bringing its own complications. It is usually unavailable because it's been used for something else, or it's also diseased. And finally, there's an inherent anatomical mismatch when plugging a vein into the arterial system, leading to failure. Notwithstanding the venous option, there is a synthetic conduit made of Teflon. Yes, the Teflon in your non-stick pants. Now, this has a high chance of rejection. It's not bioresorbable, and if you can think of a really stiff plastic tube going into the arterial circulation, there is again going to be an anatomical mismatch leading to rejection. Despite this, these are still both considered the clinical gold standard. So we must do better for these patients, and we can. So we find ourselves on fertile ground here at UWA with access to world-leading 3D printing technology that is capable of generating bioresorbable scaffolds that replicate the microstructure of collagen fibres in tissue. This is showing promise, and there's recently been the startup Coromedics that got spun out here, and they are promising to change the game in the heart valve space. What my research is doing is taking this 3D printing technology right on our doorstep and applying it to generating vascular graft. What I will also do, what I am doing, is combining it with a patient's own stem cells to yield a 3D living vascular graft. This will actively promote regeneration. We will have the ability to anatomically match this to the patient, and this will be available in a matter of days rather than months. So if we look at the vascular graft space, what is the value here? Well, annually, given that there are really 2 poor options, there's more than $1 billion thrown at this problem. Now, we know that we have technology that can supersede these options, and so we will take advantage of this market opportunity. We started this at the start of my PhD in 2022. Talking to key opinion leaders, we validated our initial hypothesis. We have since then conducted basic research experiments that have validated some of our findings. What we are doing at the moment is iterating on prototypes, and we will soon be filing for IP protection. From there, we will go into artificial circulatory system testing, and then animals, and then humans. So of course, the ask, well, to get us to our milestone 1 of validating this in an artificial circulatory system, we are asking for $250,000, and we expect this to be complete within the next 12 months. From there, we expect another $400,000 will be required to then get this to the point of, in 2 years' time, going into animal testing. 5 years from now, we expect to go into humans, and then finally, 10 years' time, potential commercial launch. We are also seeking expertise in IP law as well as regulatory affairs. And so I invite you to join me on this journey to generate a better bypass so that patients like Trevor can walk away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. Does anyone else think George kind of looks like Clark Kent and is just glasses away from becoming Superman? Yeah, that just kind of came to me. Thank you, George. That is one hell of a research project, and I'm really looking forward to where that's going. I don't think you know this, but as an entrepreneur in residence, I take a standard 5% across the board in non-diluted equity. You signed up to it at the beginning, look at the T's and C's. I'm joking. Okay, next up is Ben from Catalyst. So, this team is just naturally entrepreneurial. They all saw a problem on campus a few years ago. They ideated a solution. They took it to their customer. They sought the customer's feedback, and then they built an MVP and launched, all before joining the venture program earlier this year. So they all come from different study disciplines, and together they make one hell of a kick-ass team. Can I just get a big round of applause for Ben from Catalyst?
Thanks, Josh. Quite the introduction. Like Josh has said, I'm from Catalyst, and really the core problem we're solving is networking events suck. They're awkward, they're forgettable. Let's be honest, you walk into a room, you might meet 10, 20 people, you might get a few LinkedIns out of it, but you don't really ever meet genuine, real connection. The spark, we saw this at uni, so we decided to fix it. We decided to run events where people can actually connect. And so we made our own software to do that. We built an app that utilizes the Sternberg's theory of love for our romantic events we were running at uni, and the DISC framework, which I'm sure a lot of you have been made to do at some point in your life and would be quite familiar with. So the go-to-market was an event called Campus Crush. In the last 12 months, we've had 650 attendees, we've had 30 plus relationships formed that we know of, there's 14K in revenue, and every event sold out. But then we kind of realised the underlying tech for this problem is far more valuable than just dating events. And so coming to venture, we decided to take it out of that space. We invented Catalyst, which is a white label version of Campus Crush. We then tested it 2 months ago with a group in Singapore. A few issues there. Now we, since fixed those issues, can confidently say we have a really good product and we're ready to go to market. So how does it work? What are you buying? On the attendee side, you're going to come into the event, you're scanning a QR code, there's a quick 5-minute survey to fill out, and then you're going to get put in a group of similar people to you, and then matched with the ideal person in the room you're going to get along with. So if you picture just an hour ago, you walked into this event, you maybe know 3, 4 people, you fill out this survey, you could immediately get to know a few really genuine people that you're actually going to get along with, and maybe you walk out of this room with 3 of them that you're getting coffee with next week. You cut through the whole randomness of going up to people and meeting people and really just make that connection instantly. What are you buying on the host side? It's a simple one-stop shop where you can release the groups, release the matches, control the whole event. So why Catalyst? It's science-based, it's customizable, it's Perth-built but globally scalable. This can really be applied anywhere. We've run it in Singapore already, and it can really kind of, as a SaaS product, be taken wherever you like. So other people are doing this, but we're doing it best. And no one's really doing what we're doing. So our product is affordable, it's offering attendee matching, it's customizable, it's all in one app, and we're offering attendee analytics to the hosts, which can be really valuable. The business model, you've all heard it before, it's a B2B SaaS. We're going $3 a head and then another $50 to set it up. We're looking at offering volume discounts to large clients. And we want to move fast. We're the first movers here in Perth and really in Australia. So we want to make the most of this market opportunity before other people enter. The roadmap, like I said, 2 months ago, we launched in Singapore. And then today, we're really pushing the product out to everyone. Summer is a really big opportunity. There's a lot of events. The Startup Fest is running. There's all sorts. And then into O-Day 2026, we think that's a really great touch point. That's a point where a lot of people come to uni all at once and really don't know many people. And that's a great opportunity to run this at a few different events and really get some good engagement and feedback. Then we want to spin it into professional networking, expand into state, go from there. The team, like Josh said, we've come from a whole range of spaces. I've got a law and finance background. Naveen does engineering and has a lot of experience in AI. Julianne does marketing. She made these slides. I have nowhere near that ability, and a bit of BD. So the ask, we're looking for early adopters mainly. If anyone in this room is running events they think this could be used at, we'd love to have a chat. We're also looking for partners, advisors. We're new to this space, keen to learn, and really want to try and build this product into something really big. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. That was really good. Can I just say how much of a shame it is Catalyst wasn't around when I was around here at UWA 12, 13 years ago. But I'm happy for those who it is now. Okay, next. Can we please have, well, the next up is Ash. So, we're into the final two pitches now. For this team, if there was a prize for a team with the most questions, who never took no for an answer, and who always came at a problem from multiple angles, and I mean from multiple angles, until they found a yes, it is the Telios team. Although they resemble a consultancy, they actually delivered such strong results for a student team that a scalable project is not just likely, it's inevitable in the next few months. Can I please introduce Ash, representing the Telios team?
Thank you so much, Josh. So I just have a quick question for everyone. Who here has heard the word AI in the last 12 hours? Okay, cool. Let's be honest. Most companies suck at building AI products. You would know this if you've seen LinkedIn or the news lately. There was also an MIT study that you would have seen, and they found that 95% of AI initiatives at these big companies don't deliver any measurable business impact. It's not the AI models that are bad, but it's the products that are poor. And something we're seeing again and again is, number one, most engineering teams are making poor product decisions. They don't quite understand users, the workflows that users go through, and what kind of products actually deliver business value. And secondly, most AI projects that are going on aren't making it past the pilot phase. They aren't delivering, they aren't getting adopted, and they aren't returning any ROIs. So this is the gap that we're trying to fill at Telios. Telios is an AI product engineering consultancy, and the services we offer center on these 4 core capabilities. So we're experts at software development, product design and research, data science and statistics, machine learning, and AI engineering. Our team consists of 2 co-founders, myself and Michael, who's sitting over there. Both of us are technical co-founders, have worked in the industry, and we've been very successful at building solutions for industry challenges and making good impact in many different organizations. And we've also been the winner of 10 different hackathons between us. Our most exciting engagement was with the Department of Fire and Emergency Services. So you would know DFAS. DFAS had a warning issuing system, but the issue with it was that these warnings were too complicated for the public to understand. So we built FireTrail, which was a system that used AI. It took these warnings and used AI to convert them into more simple language that the public could understand. So DFAS took this prototype of FireTrail in 2023. They tested it. They loved it so much that the following year, they showcased it at a huge conference and deployed it. And the year after that, in 2025, they came back to us and extended the contract. So this was a pretty amazing success for us. We're currently working with 6 active clients across these 4 domains: AI-driven innovation, public sector, medtech, and tourism tech. And in the last 12 months, we have made $100,000. And we're not just stopping here, because the opportunity, and I'm very thankful for this, that in Australia there is about more than $6.5 billion in the AI innovation space. with a serviceable market of 6,000 to 8,000 businesses. We are looking to serve 40 businesses in the next 5 years, given our growing capacity. We know there's competitors out there. Michael and I like to call them alternatives. If they're the right people for you, you should go to them, definitely. They have their limitations, however. In-house teams can have limited experience. They might be able to build you a good product, but they may not have the understanding of what makes a product provide value. Whether the product is right for your business or not, they may not understand this. And the same issue happens with software development agencies. They might be able to implement a solution for you, but they may not know how to design one that is right for your business needs. AI agent businesses, they implement automations, and these automations are often very narrow and might not address broad, complex business needs. And big consultancies, as we all know, are very expensive, and they're not as impersonal. So we work with you every step of the way, from understanding your problem to building a prototype and testing and making sure it actually solves the problem, and then building an MVP that we can scale up and making sure that we're actually solving the problem, and most importantly, making sure that you are happy with the work. So if you're a medium to large-sized company who is working on a brilliant AI innovation, please come and get in touch with us. We do have a few projects in our pipeline at the moment, but we are also open to taking on 2 to 3 more clients right now. So if that sounds like you, come and have a chat, or you can scan the LinkedIn code and send me a message.
Okay, thank you, Ash. Now, definitely last, but definitely not least, is a student. This student, before the program even started, was in our office before April, every fortnight, with a new idea, trying to test it, trying to talk about what we're doing, how we're doing it, what do you think? And as entrepreneur residents, my job was always to be there to listen to it and go, okay, that's good, let's think about it, let's workshop it. And kind of after a while, I realized if I keep workshopping it, he's just going to come back in next one with a new idea. But I can't tell you how happy I was when Agastea walked in and had an entrance into this program as he had found a co-founder with serious industry experience, with a well-thought-through idea, and with the technical abilities of Agastea, I think they've built something really, really special. So, can I please now invite Agastea and Drew from SavvyWise.
So, just in Australia, the cost of dealing with taxes is $40 billion per year. That's expensive. Guess what? That's about same in every country around the world. That's a practical problem, and we've got paying customers already.
So I want everyone here to imagine they're an accountant who's just spent 3 tedious hours on tax research, and you have to decide, have I checked everything? Is my advice correct? And can I justify all that time on my bill? This is a regular dilemma faced by accountants, and one I know well as a former director of the accounting firm Munro's.
We are SavvyWise, accountants, time-saving, revenue-generating AI assistant for tax research and more. With SavvyWise, accountants can get back their time and can bill more hours by using an easy-to-use interface. They just need to enter the query, and SavvyWise processes the query and returns a written response with reference citations from a curated knowledge library, such as ATO's legislations, tax rulings, cases, and expert commentaries. This avoids the common pitfall that every generalist AI is facing, which often disappoints accountants by citing low-quality information, such as ATO's community forum. That's like going down to a pub to get a tax advice.
I can't tell you how much I hate the ATO Community Forum. But SavvyWise does more than tax research. It helps accountants with state taxes and duties, with fair work, with auditing standards, with more compliance areas such as ESG on the way. And we have workflows for common accountant tasks. And as we meet with every accounting firm, it commonly goes like this. They say, this looks great, and is it going to be able to do this and that in the future? And I get to respond the same way every time. get to say yes, and yes, it's already on our roadmap because I know what you want.
Here are some testimonials from our paying clients. Let us focus on Kieran. Kieran recently used SavvyWise to do a tax research on a complex tax issue. Kieran explicitly told us that he would have taken more than an hour without SavvyWise, but with SavvyWise, Kieran was able to get a verified answer in just 5 minutes. Super time saving.
I asked Kieran to pay us, and I kid you not, before I got in the car, the money was already in our bank account. Within the first week, we made over $26,000 in sales from 8 customers. We're selling to 200,000 accountants and 37,000 accounting firms across Australia. Our average annual subscription is $3,000 per firm. This is a large industry that makes consistent profits, consistent income. Taxes are not going away. Before Savvywise, accountants had to rely upon human labour, and there is a chronic shortage of talented accountants. We're evolving Savvywise into a fully capable AI assistant. And with this, we intend to earn payments similar to accountant salaries. Now, you may be asking, is that realistic? And I can say yes, because I know that accountants target 3 times earnings on their human labour costs, and Savvywise will be able to deliver profitable revenue on Savvywise costs. So with the talent shortage and the capabilities of Savvywise, it becomes a no-brainer for accounting firms.
Though some competitors started much earlier than we did, but we've already surpassed them. This is mainly because they are juggling multiple ventures at the same time. However, we are all in on Savvywise. Our focus has led us to this growth, and the gap's only going to widen up as we double down on product and marketing.
Our moat is embedded firm knowledge. What is this? It's firms uploading their data into Savvywise to get better advice more specific for their accountants. As this vital data gets integrated into Savvywise, it becomes a sticky point, like cement. I'm the domain expert, and I have a successful track record in marketing and sales.
I bring technical expertise with professional experience in AI and software development. We also have a team of developers assisting us.
So, I don't want you leaving here today thinking we are just targeting accountants. We are following the success path of Xero. Xero first went to accountants. That's exactly what we're doing. They're the people who are going to pay us quickly. But then they activated accountants to sell to their clients. So our target customer base is huge. And once we swiftly dominate Australia, we will have a war chest, just like Xero has done, to go global. So this is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity.
4 months ago, we had nothing. 2 months ago, we opened up our beta program. 2 weeks ago, we got our first paying customer. Week after week, we are breaking records in trial signups, returning weekly active users, and research chats per week. We've got more than 50 firms in trial, representing a pipeline of over $300,000 in annual recurring revenue.
I'm going to go a bit off track here. Ags doesn't even know this. Actually, that's a bit outdated. We put that there on Monday. It's actually up to 193 firms on trial using Savvywise, representing $743,000 in the pipeline. And we've made $10,000, more than $10,000 in sales just today. So we're ready to raise a 7-figure seed round so that we can double, triple down on distribution that's working, to put it into product development and novel innovations that's just going to widen the gap between Savvywise capabilities and competitors. We've already spoken with Kieran of Tidal Ventures and Kate of Airtree, and they've invited us to have follow-up meetings in Sydney later this month. So if you're an investor out there that can bring value to Savvywise, please come to speak with me as soon as possible.
For everyone else who uses an accountant, please let them know about SavvyWise. Thank you everyone for your time. And yeah, special thanks to Venture UWA, and members of Venture for providing us a good co-working space. At the same time, for their mentorship, which has accelerated our growth and sharpened our vision. Thank you, everyone.
Great job, SavvyWise. Can I just say that you slammed that out of the park? Okay, there you have it. That is the final pitches for tonight and 2025. Can I please get a final round of applause for not just our pitches, but our showcase as well. Okay, now our judges. The judges will now take 5 minutes to deliberate and come up with the 2 best pitches that they think are going to be right for West Tech Festival Main and also Fremantle Start Fest. To give you time, I will now pass the mic back over to Chloe to say some final thank yous to give you guys enough time to deliberate. I'd now like to invite up Chloe Bull.
Wow. Did everyone enjoy that as much as I did? Nice. So much fun. Now, I think you've kind of worked out by now, this is not really a spectator sport, and we love to get better every single year. So can you please get your phones out, scan the QR code, and I'm going to talk at you while you answer a few questions and give us some feedback. I'd first think, oh, too fast? Okay, sorry. You've seen the pace that we go. You've got to move faster at Venture. So firstly, I'd like to thank all of our founders who pitched tonight. Can we just get all of our founders to stand up for a minute? Thank you. Michael, yes, you. Big round of applause. Our showcasing teams pitched 10 times. What they've achieved across the last 5 months has been incredible, and I've absolutely loved working with every single one of you. Thank you for showing up with us. Thank you for being so coachable. Thank you for continuing to push boundaries and being so much fun. I have the best job in the whole world. And thank you so much to our mentors. So our mentors and our expert advisors offer so much time and value to our teams. We appreciate you so much. I know we've got a couple of you in the room. Can you guys stand up too so we can embarrass you by clapping at you? Thank you so much to all of you. Our sponsors, so we are lovingly at home at the UWA Student Guild. We also have sponsorship from UWA and the Malka Foundation, which has amplified what we've been able to do this year. Without these partners, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So thank you so much to all our sponsors. Another round of applause. So I think you will all agree that the showcases went very, very smoothly. Not to mention the fact that everything that we've managed to achieve this year is largely due to our incredible committee. It doesn't matter what wild and wacky idea I throw at them, whether it's let's put an AI-generated video and talk over the top of it and make it really hard for us to keep pace at the beginning of pitch night, or whether it's let's do this in 2 weeks, or let's do a Wee Money hackathon and we'll do that in 3 weeks. It doesn't matter what I throw at them, they're always willing to take the challenge, and actually quite a lot of the time they challenge me even further, even more than I challenge them probably. So a huge thank you to our committee. Can we just get our committee members to stand up? And if anyone is looking to hire anybody, I would thoroughly recommend you hire these people first. Let's give them a huge round of applause for all of their work. Thank you. Working alongside them is our team, so Perla and Dylan. Dylan might spell Telios wrong, but that would be the only thing that he ever gets wrong. Our team are absolutely phenomenal people. We're so lucky. They trust me wholeheartedly with their vision, and they truly believe in our purpose. So I cannot be more grateful to work with such a wonderful team. And that extends to the lovely Josh Van Ross. I think you will agree, Josh Van Ross, despite the fact he always brightens up the day with his clothing, will genuinely brighten up a room. So Josh, can you stand up? So this is Josh's last year as our EIR. So Josh was introduced to me 4 years ago via Antoine Moussou, a professor at the business school, and I could not have been more grateful for that connection. Actually, turned out I knew Josh about 10 years ago, and he was a budding DJ around Perth and I was in events. But he jumped straight on board with Venture's vision. He was originally a student and was one of the first students that we ever sponsored, and the following year jumped in to coach so many of our teams. Now, I think the founders today, the committee, all the previous founders that are in the room would agree that the value that Josh provides to you all is absolutely next level. What we do would not be what it is if it wasn't for Josh not only shaping it, but for personally consulting with all of the teams. So we are so grateful to you. I think I'll speak on behalf of all of us. And I see Kat nodding in the back. We are so grateful to you. Thank you so much for the last 4 years. Next year's not going to be the same without you. But it does mean we have an opening for an EIR. So if anyone is interested, no, I'm joking. And finally, I'd like to thank every single person in this room. If you guys did not want to come to these kind of things, they just wouldn't happen. So I know it's a Wednesday evening, and I know it's late, and I know that you probably really want to be curled up watching Netflix or something along those lines. But we are so grateful for you coming out. We're grateful for you speaking to the founders. We're grateful for you sharing your advice, opening some doors for them, and more importantly, we're very grateful you might open your wallets for them. But all that aside, thank you so much for coming out and spending the evening with us. Now, Venture has really ambitious growth plans. I think you can see kind of what we've done over the last 4 years. We want to 10x that. And as we grow into the future and we grow our partnership with UWA, I'm really, really interested to catch up with anyone who would like to be a part of that journey with us. The other thing is we are also opening EOIs for our innovation consultancy projects. So if you know a company that has a problem or some kind of challenge that they're really struggling to solve, and they think, oh, do you know what, a bunch of random uni students who are slight geniuses may be able to come together and solve that problem, you'd be 100% right. So please, scan the QR code, let's catch up, we'll have a coffee, and we'll see what we can make happen next year. So I'm going to pass back over to, what am I going to do? I'm going to welcome the judges back in the room. And I'm going to give the mic to the absolutely wonderful Derek Gerard, who is going to speak on behalf of the judges and announce who they have chosen.
Thanks, Chloe, and thanks, everyone. We asked for 60 minutes and we got 60 seconds, I think, to make our decision. But we thought it was also pretty obvious. Just very quickly, for those that don't know, I'm the chair of the Malka Foundation, and we are very, very proud supporters of the Venture program, and Chloe and the team and everyone that we've heard from tonight. I think I've pretty much been to most of these evenings over the 4 or 5 years, and I have to say this is stand out the best. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody else that's in the room from previous programs, but I just think the quality gets better and better year in, year out, like I think right across the board. And the presentations and the pictures were just fantastic. So well done to everyone involved. Super excited. I know Venture's growing next year and for what that looks like. And yeah, we're very keen to continue our support as we do right across the ecosystem. Also, a quick plug. Just in case you've forgotten, I do run a venture capital fund, happens to be the largest in WA, and I love how everyone's talking to all the other venture funds apart from us. So just don't forget that we are here and we do want to invest and we've got lots of money and we'd like to invest in you. So next year it'd be nice to go, hey, we're talking to Purpose Ventures on Monday and hoping they might invest, just saying. Yeah, so what have I just done? Right, so I just want to be really clear that this is not it's not a competition. We're not picking winners. In fact, we're trying. There's 2 pitch events that we're trying to pick the best company for relative to what we think the vibe of that is and who will go well there. So for all the other teams and companies, please don't think that's a reflection on your capability. In fact, some pitches tonight were probably almost, I'm not going to say better than these, but equivalently good, but we just didn't quite think you were going to suit the vibe of that evening, so that's what we're picking. So the first one is for Frio Startup Fest, which gets you a chance to pitch there to then get into the +8 Accelerator pitching event, and maybe on the program, and we have picked Catalyst. Oh. Well done. Great pitch. That's good. Also, how come everyone gets taller as the years go by? Like, I'm just like, I used to be a big guy, like back in my day, but I'm just like a little guy now. And then for the West Tech Fest main stage, this is like, you know, really these companies are pitching at a level where they're going to attract venture capital, so growth and traction is a pretty important part to that conversation. So we have picked SavvyWise. Well done, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Derek, and congratulations to SavvyWise and Catalyst. That is very well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing both of you guys in the week of West Tech Main Fest, in the West Tech Festival for Fremantle and West Tech Main. I'll be front and centre for both of you. Right, that brings Venture Pitch Night to a close for 2025, another year. Just wanted to say thank you very much to the venture supporters and funders, the University of Western Australia, the Student Guild, and more, the Student Committee, and of course the staff. I personally could not have asked for a better night to finish and round off my last 4 years here at Venture. I'm really going to miss this university, this team, and the boundless energy that is the beating heart of Venture, Chloe Bull. I can't sum up in words what working with you has meant to me over the last 4 years, so I'm not going to try. You are the most staunchly English person I have ever met. So all I'm going to say is that I'm going to give you that 20-second hug that you have been avoiding for the last 4 years and see how you handle that. Venture is a home for so many, and it is a crucial offering for the students here in a rapidly changing world. Its previous success is really starting to bear fruit each year on an ongoing scale. And I'm astonished at the milestones it just keeps kicking and leaving in its dust. So thank you very much for coming here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in 2026. Well, I will be a punter in 2026. Now the night isn't over. I want to let you know that there is dessert outside, as the judges did find out. So please go back outside. The founders will be back at the booths. This is your opportunity. If 5 minutes wasn't enough for you in the showcase, this is an opportunity for you to now make some quality connections. And I might actually just make a special booth for Derek. Now he's added himself as money and ready to go. So once all the founders are done, Derek, you have to stay till at least 10 o'clock so they can all get their time with you. Thank you very much. That's the end of the showcase. I will see you all very soon. Enjoy.